Good morning, everyone, and welcome into Wake and Take. It's your boy Jason, and we've got some football to talk about today. Today, I've brought on my friend and very special guest, Tyler Knaeble, the master of best ball, if you will, to do a best ball draft. We're going to hop over to Underdog. We're going to do a Best Ball Mania 5 entry. We're going to talk about everything he's learned. I mean, it's going to be a great episode. So if you've got any questions about best ball or even just seasonal stuff, players you need to be drafting, you know, this works for Dynasty too. I mean, we're going to be talking about tons of players and stuff today. So it's going to be a really, really insightful episode. It's going to be awesome. Stay tuned for the whole draft, and hopefully we end it with some Ryan Flournoy. So guys, go ahead, take out your coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I'm in. Tyler, how's it going?
It's going great, baby. Just woke up to it's waking. Your show name is Wake and Take. We're waking and drafting right now. I mean, it's the break of dawn type stuff. So apologies for my stutter. I literally just woke up.
Oh, dude, no problem at all. Glad to have you here. Glad to have a little bit of a wake and draft. For those of you who don't know, Tyler has been killing it on his own YouTube channel, PPR Tyler, doing a draft, every single night except for
every single night.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We did 50 consecutive streams right before the NFL draft, went to the draft, which was a blast. And now ever since Best Ball Mania opened, we have done a draft every single night. Tonight will be stream 11. Also, Jason, this be the only promo I do all show. Very special stream tonight. We just hit 500 subs, and at 500 subs, I promised we would do a Hot Wings Best Ball Mania 5 challenge. So it's going to be Best Ball Mania, 18 rounds, 18 wings, 10 different flavors, 10 different levels of hotness, I should say. And we're going to do a Best Ball Mania draft. It's going to be an awesome time. That's tonight at 7 p.m. Central on my channel at PPR Tyler. You can watch it on Twitter or you can watch it on YouTube, both at PPR Tyler. Okay, that's out of the way.
We'll definitely go follow that. Congratulations on 500 subscribers. I happen to be on the stream with you drafting a Best Ball Mania just a couple nights ago when you got 500 subscribers.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And now we have you here the morning of the big event, the Hot Ones drafting special. It's going to be cool. I hope you got like a super spicy one ready. Are you doing that at the beginning? Like, will you start hot and get milder? Or
no, it's like Hot Wing. It's be like Hot One style. So I'm doing Buffalo Wild Wing stuff. I have the flavors. I was going to drop the list on Twitter probably after the show of the flavors I'm going to do. But like the last one's going to be blazing. Like, we're not messing around here. We're not just going to go like get near the top and then stop. No, we're going to climb this mountain. It's going to be, and we're going to climb it together.
Awesome. Well, I'll definitely be tuning in. And you guys, again, that is PPR Tyler. Go check him out tonight. Go ahead and hit him a follow on Twitter right now. Go subscribe to him on YouTube. Genuinely great stuff, especially if you're liking the best ball. A stream every single night. Who doesn't love it? Speaking of drafting, why don't we go ahead and enter Best Ball Mania 5? I think I'll go ahead and host it. You can help me draft this. And it should be pretty good. I'm excited. We're both Falcons fans, so that'll maybe help in terms of what we're going to be drafting. But, of course, it depends on where we end up drafting from. So we got to wait on 8 people. That's awesome. Hopefully it fills quickly. But I'll just go ahead and ask you this, Tyler. You can pull it up maybe. What's kind of been your most exposed player right now? Like, who are you really trying to leave these drafts with?
Okay, well, it's I hate on Underdog. You can't really like look through your entire exposure. Like you can, but like it splits it up between like pre-draft and like different contests kind of thing. But if we're looking over just since the NFL draft ended, my most exposed player has been Patrick Mahomes at 35%, Charbonnet, Noah Fant, Tajay Spears, which is pretty on brand for me. And I'm surprised. I think Xavier Legette, if we're doing just Best Ball Mania, Xavier Legette, I have 66%. I have 9 teams so far. I've drafted Xavier Legette on 6 of those 9 teams. Like, that's a guy that I'm really, really big on kind of to start this season, especially like these quarterbacks too. So that's one of the really interesting things kind of in this contest this year is these quarterbacks have historically, like last year, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Jalen Hurts were all second-round picks. And especially a guy like Josh Allen, who like has kind of been my favorite quarterback to draft just overall. He literally paid off his ADP last year. like, and he was the number one quarterback overall. He definitely paid off his ADP, but now you can get him in like the mid third or the end of the third. Like,
Yeah.
you just don't understand the drop on Josh Allen. Like, you can get him at a value pretty easily. It's not even a guy you have to reach on. Like, you can get him like falling 5-6 picks past ADP. And if that, like, if I see Josh Allen on my board, like, I'm gonna draft him every single time. That positional advantage that he gives you is something that can't be replicated by a guy like, Aaron Rodgers, who you can get, goes a lot rounds later. But like, it's just even like Joe Burrow, like as good as Joe Burrow is, like he doesn't have that rushing upside or those big boom week that as much of that capability as Josh Allen does. So especially a year where Josh Allen's be running a lot more. I'm huge on Josh Allen right now.
I think it's a good pick, especially right now. He's going in that range. We actually I think we ended up drafting Josh Allen when we streamed together a couple nights ago because he's in such a weird range where it's like you could choose to draft Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, Jalen Waddle, Deebo Samuel, or you could just try to lock yourself into the top quarterback with Josh Allen or Sam Laporta is kind of sitting there as well. And for the most part, I don't see why you wouldn't be going quarterback in that range. I've got 20% Josh Allen, 20% Patrick Mahomes. Those are kind of both those quarterbacks going right there right now. It's just such a nice spot to get them.
Yeah, and to talk about Mahomes too, it's like I've kind of said it on my stream where he's Patrick Mahomes. He's already like a first ballot Hall of Famer. If he ended his career today, right, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And do we really think he's just not going to have like another like nuclear like season? Like he had that rookie year, he had that 50+ touchdowns, like that his first year starting, I should say. And you look at the weapons he has now. This is the best. Like people don't even like, no one's talking about it like this, but this is the best weapons Patrick Mahomes ever had in his career, like overall, right?
Yeah.
Great running back with Pacheco, a great O-line, and now you have Kelsey, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, and Rashee Rice for probably half the season, but he's just due for like he has so. This is gonna be like the polar opposite of what we had last year. Like this could be another like probably like 40+, 45+ touchdown season for Mahomes, and we're gonna feel stupid when he's coming off the board as QB4 and he's like you can get him like the fourth end of the fourth round type of stuff. Like it's gonna be crazy. So, like that's a guy I want to be exposed to. Now stacking him is a little trickier because if you don't take Kelsey early and you take Mahomes, like you really have to get lucky with some of those KC guys coming back. And after Rice, Worthy, Brown, and Kelsey are all off the board, it's like it gets really dicey on who you can stack. Then you got to start like throwing out names like Mecole Hardman or like Jared Wiley is something I've done once or twice, I think too. It's like it gets really interesting. So you have to be really cautious about where those KC kind of where you are in the draft and where those KC receivers are, because if you don't leave like after round 6, you're not getting any of them.
Yeah, Anthony in the chat makes a good point where naked Mahomes is fine, but I do actually the one that I have been getting is Pacheco. Because he's a nice hero RB, and you still kind of like if they pass, you get a touchdown with Patrick Mahomes, and if they run it in, you're getting that Pacheco touchdown. And you could get some Clyde Edwards-Helaire at the very end. As hilarious as that is, he still might score some points if Pacheco goes down. And well, I guess while I'm there, we're still waiting on one person to join Best Ball Mania. What is your thoughts on handcuffing running backs in Best Ball? That's a big question to a lot of people.
For me, I think it really depends. I personally don't do it if it's like a pure handcuff situation, just because. Well, let me start with this. So I think there's certain backfields you can get away with it. Like I think a Gibbs Montgomery backfield wouldn't be the worst one to do in the world, because those guys can both still score kind of points together. And it could be a situation. And the argument to be made for handcuffing is like, let's say you do Alvin Kamara and Kendre Miller, right? That's a pretty pure handcuff situation. Let's say Alvin Kamara through 12 weeks, 13 weeks, he's the man. He's getting all these carries. He's like a top 10 average point scorer in the landscape, right? He goes down. You have Kendre Miller. Kamara can be the kind of the guy that got you there, and Kendre Miller can be the guy that puts you over the edge. Maybe he goes crazy in a week 15, a week 16, 17 in the playoffs somewhere. So that's the argument to be made for it. I mean, that's pretty obvious with handcuffing. That's why they call it that. The argument to be made against it is like you're pretty much rooting for an injury, which you don't really want to do, because if let's say you have Kamara and Kendre Miller and Kamara plays the entire season, then that Kendre Miller pick is pretty much dead. So then you're kind of just wasting one of your backup running back spots when like you're probably going to be going against somebody who, let's say, another pure handcuff. Like let's say Bijan goes down right toward the beginning of the year. Those people who were drafting Algier in that same range that you drafted Kendre Miller, they're gonna have a huge advantage over you. So it just limits your upside in a sense. And Underdog is a contest that's all about upside. It's not like the worst thing in the world if you handcuff. Me personally, like I'm shooting for that like 99.9 percentile outcome. I think it's smart to try and take those shots and like don't assume an injury is going to happen, because like that, if an injury happens, that's the only way you're really that selection is going to pay off for you. So
I guess that's fair. I do like the Kendre Miller, Alvin Kamara kind of mention. I think that that one is a good one. And then the other one's it just varies. But it is strange just because like right now, the running backs in general are going off the board at such a weird rate. Like it's like either you get some early and you're kind of okay, or you've got to keep taking shots on the handcuff level players. So I don't know. It's been hard. It's been very hard out here. So anyway, we are picking at the 111, which I actually like a lot. I like picking my two picks being close to each other. And I also really like the back end of the first round right now. I've been targeting some Saquon, been targeting some Breece Hall, and it's been working well, I think.
Yeah, I like picking them, kind of close together too, especially a pick like 11 where you can get really fun when you like, it just feels like such an alpha move where like if like you need a quarterback and you're like, but the team in between you already has me, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna push this guy around the board. Watch me be an alpha in this draft when we just impose my will on these fools. That's kind of just something I like doing. But yeah, Breece Hall goes 105 over JJ, over Bijan.
That's painful. It's Matt F is watching.
My least favorite spot of drafting is the 1-9 and the 110, because the 1-9 you miss out on the elite tier of players, in my opinion. Yes. Where like after Amon-Ra, the tier break between Amon-Ra and Puka for me is just it's a big gap. And same thing with like Breece. Like then like you start talking yourself into guys like Puka, AJ, Garrett Wilson. I actually drafted an all fade team on yesterday's stream. We did the golden, which is only one entry max. So we did the all fade team of players that I have like 5% ownership or less. Most of them were like 2%. A couple of guys, like I took Brandon Cooks for the first time ever in this season, like this drafting season, like the pre-draft, after the NFL draft. Like that was the first time I ever took Brandon Cooks. So it was pretty fun.
That might not be too bad. I think, obviously I am a Ryan Flournoy guy, as everyone knows here, but okay.
Who are you thinking here?
I have no Puka, and I have been drafting a lot of Cup, so I'm okay going Puka, or Garrett Wilson. I have none of him either.
I love Garrett Wilson. I think if you're looking for a tiebreaker, I think Garrett Wilson's the guy.
Okay.
Saquon's going to come back around anyway. I can feel it. Saquon's going to come back around here.
I hope so. If he doesn't, I'm fine with Jonathan Taylor or Gibbs. But
this drafters going Puka, JT.
That's not bad for him. Well, then what's your thoughts on? I guess we'll find out. I definitely want a running back here. I like these early running backs. I really, really do. Bijan, Breece, Saquon, Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor. Like I like them all.
I was one off.
Where are you at Saquon versus JT?
I can kind of be convinced either way. I feel like JT just has more upside because the Hurts aspect of it does scare me a tad with the tush push kind of thing. But and JT's been a number one running back overall before in his career, so it's I can be convinced either way.
Let's go JT. This is another player I haven't gotten much exposure to. I do like Saquon a lot this season. But, Jonathan Taylor's had a couple down years. I think this Colts offense is finally kind of going back to where it could be. And you're talking about, at this point, two running backs that have mobile quarterbacks that could take away touchdowns. And might as well just go with the one that's not going to a new team, especially since it's going to kind of be hard to correlate now with missing out on A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. Just people are very fine with naked Jalen Hurts right now. They don't really need the correlation.
Yeah. So did we see that? We didn't see any like tush pushes with Richardson last year, did we? He obviously didn't play that many games, but I can't remember seeing any 1 yard line Philly shoves or anything like that.
That could just be a personnel thing. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we started to see it. Plus, also just it was early in the season before he got hurt, and then he got hurt early, so they might be scared to do it. But they don't have the offensive line the Eagles do. So I think that's going to hurt being able to even do that in the first place. But the guy who invented it is the Colts head coach, Shane Steichen.
That's what I'm saying. So and I feel like you kind of mentioned it there, where I feel like they're not going to want to like put this QB like in this situation, especially like a shoulder thing, like like that could mess up like that. You can definitely mess up a shoulder in the bottom of a pile like that, right? Like, yeah,
Definitely.
he's big, he's the perfect QB for it, but I don't know, it just feels a little scary putting your QB who's already kind of been injury prone to start his career. But and it's funny too, because like Anthony Richardson should be the most non-injury pro guy, because he's just like an absolute specimen, So we'll see. I think it was just a fluke year for Richardson, right? That's in my opinion. I think it's just a weird year, like rookie year. And he looked awesome for fantasy when he was on the field. But it's crazy, he's like QB6 right now, and he's played 5 NFL games.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that ceiling is so huge. I mean, didn't he have 2 QB1 finishes those 4 weeks or something like that?
I think he had 2 weeks with 2 rushing touchdowns. Let me I always keep the stats up here because we always talk about things. Like sometimes I'll say something and I'm like, I think I'm right on this, and I'm just could not be more wrong. So I always have to keep myself honest with the stats.
While you're looking that up, we have a question from Jamie in the chat. They're on the clock in Underdog, assuming it's a slow draft, which they pain me. I'm in one right now. It takes way too long. But that aside, are you going Brian Robinson or Devin Singletary?
Oh my God, Brian Robinson all the way, baby. I love Brian Robinson. I just think he plays the James Conner role from the kind of like the Cliff Kingsbury thing, where he's going to be James Conner, and then Eckler's going to be Chase Edmonds. Like that's kind of how I see it. So
yeah,
who were you mad about? Pittman.
Pittman
was on my All-Fay team yesterday. He was.
There you go. I mean,
I had 1.5% Pittman.
11 targets week 1 with Anthony Richardson. I still think, but it's okay. It's okay. So we are next. I like all 3 of these wide receivers. Okay. I like both of these wide receivers.
Who do we have again? I can't see it. Who do we have again? I forgot.
Jonathan Taylor and Garrett Wilson.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Let's see here. I love ETN. You don't have to convince me on ETN at all.
Let's lock down some running backs.
He is my favorite running back in this range. It's not even close.
And then I know that you're with me on Cooper Kupp, so hopefully Jonas isn't. And I think that would be a fantastic start. And then hopefully Anthony Richardson slides all the way back to the next round, which is definitely possible.
Yeah, someone's going to reach on him. I have Richardson's stats here. So he had 1 rushing touchdown week 1. He had, let's see here. He had 21 points week 1, 17 points week 2, 29 points week 3, or week 4, excuse me. He missed Baltimore game, and then he got hurt against Tennessee. So. Yeah, he had 3 rushing touchdowns in the 4 games he played in.
It's just massive. He's going to be awesome.
Did not have a game with more than 225 passing yards, though.
That's okay. A lot of them, 2 of those games were only half performances.
Yeah.
So. All
right,
so we get Jonathan Taylor, ETN, Cooper Kupp, Garrett Wilson.
I like it. It, man. All of our stacking options are still on the table here. No one's off the board yet, so that's always nice, where you can really just hone in on guys like maybe like Rodgers late or stat like I kind of like starting teams like this where you don't have to worry about quarterback. Like in our perfect world, maybe we just we pair up Lawrence, Stafford, and Rodgers. Like that'd be a great just 3 quarterbacks, like a lot of consistency with some upside, in any given week. Like I kind of like rooms like that where it's just, you just 3 quarterback pellets, in like rounds like 10, 11, and 12. Like that's always kind of a fun way to start.
Definitely. Yeah. And it's going to be pretty easy, really. With where we're at. So I'm actually pretty stoked with this start. I'm not going to lie.
This is fun. This is a good start. So
we are still a while away as it appears, but so one thing I've noticed is Tank Dell is going rounds after, well, I guess just a round, but a decent bit after Diggs, and then another decent bit after after Nico Collins. Where are you there, or should they still kind of all go in the same range? I don't really understand the couple round differentiation.
I think Tank Dell should be I think they should just go 1, 2, 3 off the board, honestly. Tank Dell, he's the guy who you listen to CJ Stroud talk ever. It's like if he's mentioning one of his receivers and like mentioning Tank Dell, like there was that clip of him where he was, or like it was him and Parsons on their podcast, and then he was like, it was like a 3rd and 5 or something like that. Like, what's the play you're drawing up, and who is your dream offense? And the receivers he listed, I think it was Devontae Adams. I forget who the other receiver was. It was a stud, like it was like Jefferson or one of the like Jamar Chase. I think it was Jamar Chase. And then he's like, in my slot, I want Tank Dell. Like he didn't put Nico on that team. He didn't put Diggs on that team. He didn't put a single other Texans player, I think, other than Larmy Tunsil on that team. And it was Tank Dell, and like that was his preferred slot. He always thought like, and they like he was doing the rookie show too, and he was like, oh, this guy runs routes like Tank Dell. I love this guy. Like he genuinely loves just Tank Dell. He told Houston to go draft him after they drafted him. Like it's just I'm buying into that narrative where I think they just have that kind of connection where he's like just gonna still get a ton of targets, and like I'll take the discount. Like a good rule of thumb in these contests too is like just take the guy. If you don't know, like we don't know for sure who's gonna be the number 1 wide receiver out of Nico, Diggs, and Tank Dell, but I know that Tank Dell is the cheapest one, so I might as well just take Tank Dell.
And he has the highest ceiling. Like, let's be honest here.
Yeah, exactly. He's a goat. He's the goat, man. Tank Dell's the goat. I had a ton of Tank Dell last year. Thank the Lord, except it didn't matter after he got hurt. So that's unfortunate.
It helped for a little bit there, though.
It did help for a little bit. Yeah, you're right there. But yeah, I like Tank Dell, man. I just think I'm going to buy into that buddy narrative because he's said to. There's been too many examples of him saying things that just I think it's going to work out. I think people are scared of the injury a little bit too. He had the same, I think, ankle injury that Pollard had last year, if I'm not mistaken. And obviously Pollard didn't look the greatest last year. So I think that scares you a tad, but running back and receiver, they're different positions. They're not exactly the same kind of play style. So I think Tank Dell's gonna be fine. People are also worried that he's gonna get hurt. Like the play the only time he got hurt, it was a freak, like why the hell is he in on a QB sneak play kind of thing? Like that's not gonna happen again, probably. So I don't think he's an injury-prone player. It was a freak play he got hurt on. So I'm Tank Dell is going to be my most drafted Texans wide receiver, 100%.
I think I'm with you. I think that's a really good producer of the show today. We are Thursday, so Thursday's way could take producer. Tank Dell quote. Figure one out. So this is Anthony Richardson watch. He did get Michael Pittman. This is it. If Vinny D gets him, then obviously we wouldn't.
Vinny will 100% go Richardson here. Oh, now this is where like we get just teased, right? This is where we get strung along.
All right, so who's on the board? Oh my God! If someone times out, like if we just get a double timeout here, I'm gonna be pissed. Is all I'm gonna say.
This would be iconic. Okay, we're one pick away.
Come on.
Even if we don't get him, I'm fine with Andrews here too.
You would rather have Andrews over
I think if we don't get Richardson. But I like Andrews, man. I think Andrews is a stud. We can get both.
I actually have no Xavier Worthy yet either. And he's staring him in the face.
He has.
Yeah.
Do it. There we go. There we go, baby.
That is huge.
There we go.
Absolutely huge. Look at that. Oh my gosh.
All right, now. Who are we thinking next year?
Anthony makes a good point, though. We probably could have pushed QB there with Jonas having double quarterback.
There's some psychos in this stuff, man. There's people who just they love themselves some double elite quarterback.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've done it too every now and again. So it's not to say that
you've done triple elite quarterback. I've seen it.
I think I did it once for a bit. Yeah, because one of my okay, let's go pits here. Let's just get every position. I love balanced builds because you can really go in any direction. So I like balanced builds. I like it.
This team looks so good, dude.
We have to take receiver next though. We cannot get left behind at receiver.
No, definitely. 19 picks away though. So let's see. Scroll down a good bit. I mean, we'll be JSN, D Hop, Christian Watson, JMO range. So
oof, yeah, that was a nice little pick. And Kyle Pitts this year, man, he's just where was he? I'm trying to remember where he was going last year. He might have even been going higher than where he's going.
It was about right here. I remember people taking Darren Waller over Kyle Pitts last year. It was so funny.
The Darren Waller thing is a great reminder to just like sometimes like the Darren Waller steam. There was no news that broke about him. There was no injuries that happened in front of him. Like it was just like people finally coming to the realization, like, you know what? Darren Waller could just be the number one guy in this offense, and there was nothing else to it. And he steamed up like 2 rounds like over the course of the summer. It was just a weird phenomenon where it's like that's gonna happen with another player here. Like it could just be like I don't know who it's gonna be. It could just be like maybe not even like a tight end. Like it could just be like Rashad White. Like everyone's gonna talk themselves into like Rashad White. Like it's just gonna be like there's gonna be one report is like Rashad White projected to be the absolute bell cow for Tampa Bay, and then he's gonna steam up to like the 3rd round.
It's gonna be awesome. I love steam up season. It's a great time to just draft right now, guys. Do some puppies, have some fun. I know obviously you might miss out, like if someone gets injured during training camp, that always happens. But the ADP is gonna change so much from right now. And I mean, as you watch this, we're gonna keep talking about some of these values. I guess coming up, we'll have to make a decision in the kind of mid running back tier, the Jonathan Brooks, Trey Benson, Zamir White, the Commanders running backs. I think that's been a very fun tier, and you could get really risky there and maybe even punt running back all the way to that round and just kind of get some of those guys because there's some projected bell cows available pretty late. What have you been doing in that area?
That's a fun tier. The Brooks tier is fun. Like Brooks is to be like a perfect player on a team like this where like we don't know how Brooks is going to start the season, but we have JT and we have ETN. So it's a click you feel better about knowing that like you can maybe just get like Brooks the back half. You know, like that rookie back half, like back 9 swing is always a thing where it's like, you know, who was that guy last year where it was like kind of like receiver wise, but it was like Rashee Rice, right? Where like he started the season slow. He did catch a touchdown in his first game, but he wasn't getting those targets and those receptions like he was in the back 9. So I think there's a real thing to be said. Like even like JT, like remember his rookie year? Like he was stuck with it was him and Marlon Mack, right? Him and Marlon Mack, and Marlon Mack was like the guy there. And then they were like, oh wait, maybe the guy we drafted in the 2nd round is like the best player on the field. And it turns out he was. So
yeah, no, it's very, the rookie running backs are so strange because they start the year off so slow, but then they always almost inevitably end up winning people championships. And there's so many of them kind of in a couple rounds here, just so many of them. It's really, really nice. You can get, like, if you really want to go crazy, I was able to pull it off once, a hero RB build with Trey Benson, James Conner, and just you kind of double tap Ben in that middle range and then hope to hit the rest of the way, really. But it's kind of fun.
All right, who we got on the board here, Jason? Let's see. Oh my god, like the 8th round. I'm telling you, man, 8th round Rashee Rice is a share you would if he falls to us. I think like I get everything. Like it's people are fear pushing him down the board, but anything less than like 5 or less, damn, like anything less than 5 or less games at this price, like this is gonna be the cheapest he's ever gonna be. So like you might as well take advantage. I like Hopkins here.
Yeah, keep that AFC South correlation.
Yep. Love it. Oh, yeah, exactly. Right. Indy, Jacksonville, Tennessee.
Yep. So wide receivers strange here unless we want to take a huge jump. I say we just fill out the running back room, either Najee or Brooks, like you mentioned. I think that could be fun.
I think Najee is just, you know, Arthur Smith. He thinks of ways. Like I've been an Arthur Smith whisperer for a couple of years now, just him being my head coach. And he just thinks of things like kind of how we think of him, where like Najee Harris, big running back, goal line, 1-2 yards. Jalen Warren, quick running back. I throw him ball. Like that's how he thinks of things. Where like I think Najee Harris is just going to be like, I always make this comparison. It's like my favorite thing to do because it's so true. Where like it's the 2021 Zeke and Pollard backfield. That's what it is. Where like Zeke is going to get those tough yards. Like he's going to get 18 carries a game. It's going to be all in between the tackles, but he's also going to get the goal line carries, right?
Yep.
And he's going to finish like 15 touchdowns, especially in a good offense like that. Jalen Warren, you know, he more of an explosive play guy, maybe a bigger boom weak guy. If he, you know, maybe breaks a 65-yard touchdown, something like that. But Najee Harris could just like the odds that Najee Harris scores 2 touchdowns are like just as good as like Jalen Warren gets like 150 yards and a touchdown. If that makes any sense, like it's just Najee Harris is going to be their goal line back, and if this Steelers offense is just like fit like half as good as like half as better than what they showed last year. Like if they're just like middle of the pack offense, like this is I think Najee's a smash pick. So and he's going to contract here too. He's gonna want to put on because he's gonna want to get some money.
Yeah, and they're going to run him into the ground. Talked about it on yesterday's Wake and Take with Alan Seslowski. He said that the Steelers are going to use him like a rental car, just aggressively, because they didn't take that fifth-year option. They are going to run the ball a ton. Might as well just kill the running back that you have no long-term commitment to anymore.
Exactly. I like that. See, I like that narrative even more. See, Alan's a sharp guy. Alan's a very sharp guy.
He is. Yeah, I like Najee a lot. We have a question here in the chat. Why did we take A-Rich before when the guy after us already had a quarterback? We said it then, we'll say it again. You can't risk it. You just can't risk it. People are QB hungry in these things.
I totally agree. Like I call it making the mature decision where it's like, that's really, it's only one spot, so it's not as crazy, but like
exactly.
I wouldn't say our whole build would have been derailed, but like we just take the guy. We're not going to lose this. We're not going to lose BBM because we didn't push Richardson around. And like, were we going to draft Worthy? I was honestly probably going to make a case for Marquia Hollywood Brown over Worthy anyway. And I don't draft a lot of Jaden Reed, so I don't think I would have. I don't think that would have deterred me from. I don't know. And, it's like Pitts. Like Pitts is like he has the most upside. I think Podfather said it on a podcast a couple days ago, where like Kyle Pitts has the most upside at this given ADP than any other tight end in this contest.
Oh, definitely. No, it's massive. I mean, he legitimately could easily, like, it's not even like a question that he could be the tight end 1 at the end of the season. I like easily, really. Like Kirk Cousins, we just saw how often he was throwing the ball to TJ Hawkinson. Similar system, more athletic tight end. And I mean, Drake London's no Justin Jefferson, like less target competition. There's no Jordan Addison on the offense as well. So I'm all in on Pitts this season. I really, really am. And so those were the two people we wanted there, Pitts and Richardson. If anything, I could see the argument where maybe we went Pitts first just because they didn't have a tight end yet. That was the risk there, but it ended up working out, so it doesn't even matter.
This is kind of a hot take, but bear with me. And like people are gonna think I'm crazy. But like Kyle Pitts, I see him kind of playing like the Puka role in LA. Now hear me, because it's like Pitts is like you want to get the like Arthur Smith was trying to use him like he was Gabe Davis. Like he was trying to use him like a deep threat. He had a crazy ADOP. Like when you have a quarterback that's Mariota and Ritter, like it's just not going to get there. I think Kyle Pitts is going to catch the ball a lot closer to the line of scrimmage. He's big. He's fast. Get this guy the ball like in like kind of those yak situations. And that's what the Rams did perfectly with Puka last year. Where like Cooper Kupp didn't really scream yak. He was more like a just route you up, get open, like find the soft spot kind of guy. And like that's kind of what he's always been. Not to say he's never had a deep shot or anything, but like he's just kind of like been there moving around the formation. He's gonna just get open. I think Kyle Pitts is gonna be like schemed open. He's gonna be like kind of like what they do in San Francisco and Miami, where it's like these crossing routes, these drag routes, like get him the ball going horizontally and then let him turn it upfield with that size, with that speed. Like he's a dog after the catch. It's just not something we have seen much from him in the NFL, but like he's going to be, I think, a yards after the catch monster this year in Atlanta with that new offense, with the new quarterback. I love Kyle Pitts kind of in that role.
Yeah, I think that's an incredible call. I really don't think it is out of like, or it would be strange, right, if Kyle Pitts even out targeted Drake London next season. Like I think he's going to be utilized very specially.
You want to go JMO here?
Can we get JMO? We can get JMO.
Let's do it. I like JMO.
Oh, I love JMO.
You never have to convince me on a JMO pick, man. I could not quit that guy. I did quit him after the suspension, but I was like so in on him beforehand. Like people just think he's a deep threat, and he's not. Like he can run routes. We haven't seen. I think we're gonna see a lot more of it at the next level. Okay. Receivers.
So I have Adonai Mitchell starred, but I'm honestly
fine. Cortland Sutton is a disgusting pick, but it's a meat and potatoes kind of pick. I don't know if
we'll go meat and potatoes. We'll go meat and potatoes.
Like this guy, he's just gonna be he's the one in Denver. He's literally the one.
I mean, I think it's going to be Troy Franklin, but that's definitely projection and a little bit of gut feel.
Plus, I like Downs a little bit later than like I think Downs could just outproduce AD Mitchell anyway. I know
no, definitely.
On the Indians.
And we're definitely going to end this draft with Ryan Flournoy, but also probably Jelani Woods, maybe if you're okay with that.
Yeah, okay. You also quarterback. Like we still have a lot of quarterback options on the board here, right? We still have T-Law.
This build is so good. I'm not like I'm looking at this team and I feel so good about it.
Yeah, and this quarterback room we're going to have too. Like we don't obviously know who we're going to get yet, but like we have Richardson for those spike weeks, and like all the other quarterbacks that would be in our
All of
wheelhouse, like Goff, like Kirk Cousins, like Rodgers, like Stafford, like all those guys are going to give you pretty consistent floors. So like they're going to be, you know, kind of the floor guys when Richardson doesn't go off, and then when Richardson, you know, does have that two rushing touchdown week, like we're gonna be pretty happy about that. So this is an awesome team to start. Our running back room is awesome. We have some nice. Not the biggest names at receiver, but you know, some guys some names that we like. So, and we have volume. So we have 5 receivers too so far. So yeah, I'm liking the way this team is built so far. It's fun.
1-3-5-1. That's feeling really good about this team. This might be the one where I owe you the $750K.
Yeah, literally, right? After taxes, I might see like 1,000 of that.
Thank you, Uncle Sam. Yeah, I don't even know how to figure out the tax thing. I feel like you can give, like, legally, I don't know if Harry Snowman's listening or any financial lawyer in general, but I feel like you can legally give a gift that's untaxed to someone. I think that's like a plot line in Shawshank Redemption.
I was
something
just
like
going to say that's in Shawshank Redemption. Literally,
yeah.
I was literally going to say that. You know, my middle name actually comes from Shawshank Redemption.
Tyler Shawshank Knaeble.
It's my middle name is not Shawshank. It is it's Brooks. I'm named after the suicidal librarian from Shawshank Redemption.
Awesome, man. Well, I hope that doesn't, you know, signify anything for you know your life.
Yeah, I guess my parents must have been watching that movie and they're like, you know what, we love this Brooks character. Too bad he kills himself. Let's name our son after him.
It's not even like a all right, whatever.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh God. Sorry if you haven't seen Josh Downs goes. Unfortunate. If you haven't seen Shawshank, sorry, I just spoiled it for you. But yeah, you had like 30 years to watch it.
It's okay. I think that's an early to middle plot point when that guy kills himself. So
yeah. All right, our indie weapons come off the board. Maybe we should have gone AD Mitchell there, but we still have JT. We have the correlation, and like it's not like Richardson's like this pure passer guy. Where like kind of if you're new to the format, if you're kind of watching it for the first time, when you're thinking about these stacks, like you're just looking for high upside stuff. So like the reason you stack you know, a Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, like if Garrett Wilson has 2 touchdowns in week 17, it's probably because Aaron Rodgers also threw him those touchdowns in week 17, right? So, but with Richardson, it's like if Aaron Rodgers has 25 points, it's because he threw 3 or 4 touchdowns, right? If Richardson has 25 points, it could be because he threw 3 touchdowns, but it's more likely, I would say, at this point of what we've seen from him, it's more likely that it's because he ran in 2 touchdowns or he threw another 2, right? Like there's a lot of more outs with the Richardson where like if you don't have his passing stacks, you're not going to be absolutely killed. And maybe there's a world too where he rushes for 2 and he throws 1 to JT. So all right,
there you go. So I'm thinking Gabe Davis, keep a little bit of AFC South.
Yeah. Okay. Does this drafter real quick? Oh, never mind. Okay. Does this drafter have any Atlanta? But
he doesn't. That was what I did look for that. He doesn't. Okay. He could still go Kirk. Like this is a weird range where he could do it, but I don't think it's detrimental if we don't get Kirk. As you mentioned, we could still get Stafford. We could still get Rodgers. We could still get Levis. So
I have a pivot. If I just want to say I don't know if this draft was in the draft. I've been burned too many times with that where like I'll say something and then I'll get sniped. So I just don't say anything anymore. I've tried to learn. Anthony's been there for that. He knows. But I'll say it after this pick, but we'll see. Like I said, it's my most drafted player in BBM. So if you remember that, that's what I'm looking at here. Yes, that guy right there. I like we have so like if a lot of our QB stacking options were off the board, I would say definitely go Kirk. Stafford goes off the board. We still have so many options. Like maybe we should go Kirk, but like
I would say either him or reach for Jalen Wright or Pat Freiermuth. Those are my 2. I really like Jalen Wright.
Let's go Kirk. Let's just get Kirk. Let's get Kirk. We can get Mooney later too at receiver. Exactly. I think Mooney is like one of the biggest winners from the draft in terms of best ball. Like he's going to be he's literally locked in the wide receiver too. There's no like Rondale Moore's he's not stealing that spot. Like they signed, I think they drafted a receiver from Illinois. He's not going to take his spot where it's like Darnell Mooney, his value stayed the same, but he was a winner from the draft. So I don't understand those two where like the market hasn't corrected on him at all yet, where he should be going a lot. Like I truly think he should be like higher. Like I would take Darnell Mooney over Adonai Mitchell. Is that a crazy take in a offense that's like a lot? Like Atlanta has so many more passing attempts this year than Indy's going to have. It's a lot more accurate quarterback, a lot more reliable quarterback. I would much rather have Darnell Mooney over Adonai Mitchell or Josh Downs or even like Rashid Shaheed. I get Rashid Shaheed's a big deep threat, but I don't know, man. Like Darnell Mooney is he had 140 targets his second year in the league, over 100 catches, 1,000 yards. Like he was a dog for a little bit there. I think he's in like the contract they gave him. Like he got like what Gabe Davis, Jerry Jeudy money. Like it's like literally the same. Like Gabe Davis, Jerry Jeudy, and Deontay Johnson, yeah, and Darnell Mooney they all got 19 million a year. Like that's literally like. I don't know, man. I'm really in on Darnell. It's not even because I'm an Atlanta fan. Like I'm not even overly bullish on Bijan. I'm not overly bullish on Drake London. I do like Pitts, but like Darnell Mooney, I think if I'm drafting anybody like at a really, really high clip, it's going to be Mooney and it's going to be Algier.
Yeah, I think that's fair, especially if you've got Bijan. I think that's a time where you could go Algier at the end. I know that we talk about handcuff and being a little rough, but I think that's an okay one. And then I'm also with you in that I'm not like overly bullish on Bijan or London, but I mean, I will go for a ton of Kyle Pitts. So much Kyle Pitts. I really like it. This guy keeps calling us a knish. I've got to Google it. It's a traditional Jewish snack food.
I was gonna say I should have known that. Yeah. I should have known that.
Oh, but it's spelled wrong. That's why I kept Anyway, there's an MF Doom song about Knish. Rap snitch Knish.
I can't say that I'm a big MF Doom guy.
That's okay.
Are you?
I like all sorts of music. I wouldn't say
what was the karaoke song you sang at in Detroit, the rap song? Was it Outkast?
Yeah, it was Roses by Outkast. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should have saw that. That was awesome.
That was a good song. I love that song.
What song did I sing? I sang In the Air Tonight. I sang Good Directions by Billy Currington, and I sang Dixieland Delight. Those are the three that I sang. Yeah.
I can't believe you did three. I did two. I did the Roses and then Vienna by Billy Joel, which was not a great karaoke song, but it felt good. I love that song. Audience, Vienna by Billy Joel. Good one.
Get a holler on me, Mason Dixon night. It's my life. All right.
So let's see. We're picking soon. We mentioned already there's some Darnell Mooney potential, but looks like we could still wait a little bit. I like Troy Franklin a lot. I really do. And this is just a gross tight end range. This really does kind of suck. Roman Wilson's a good pick. Michael Wilson's a good pick. Joshua Palmer could be a good pick.
Palmer falls. I mean, we have to just take the 25 ADP value on him, man. And this draft needs a tight end. You got to think they go tight end here, especially with Sinnott on the board. I would be shocked if they didn't go Sinnott here. That's my guess. I'm gonna do some Tony Romo type shit here. Okay, they go Kendre. I'm wrong. Let's see if I can get this one right. Needs a running back. Oh, goes receiver. All right.
There goes Palmer.
Yeah, I mean that would have been nice. Pearsall, he's a little bit of a faller, but we have so many receivers already. I just don't think we need.
I don't think Pearsall gets any fantasy production this season. I would be shocked if he crosses 300 yards.
I think we queue up the Senator on our board a little bit, and maybe even a little Ray Davis. We have 6 receivers. Our running back room is good, so we don't have to go running back here. But I mean, Ray Davis, Ray Davis for an option on the turn. On the turn here.
Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, if we are going Jelani at the end, I don't know if we need to push Sinnott.
So are we locked into Jelani there then?
I like him a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's do it then. Yeah,
I am a massive Jelani Woods guy.
Get rid of Sinnott then. Is now the real.
Oh well, there goes your boy.
Man,
So we have Sutton. So is getting Troy Franklin against that?
Is Mooney still there? Or no? Is he gone?
Allgier's there.
I think he's gone. No, Mooney's gone.
Gone,
okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay. I like Troy Franklin, man. I think yeah. Let's go Franklin.
Let's go Troy Franklin, and then maybe Roman, and then we get whatever Wilson comes back, or Vidal. Vidal could be good at the end of the season.
Oh, so I feel like we need a running back with this next pick. Do we not?
Yeah. So then Vidal.
Running back clear is disgusting after this tier. After I like Algier too, but I don't know. Okay. Also too, is this a 3 QB build? That's the real question. We're going.
I think so with Kirk. I think so. There goes Vidal.
Because it's either if we go 2 QBs, then we're good here. Then we might as well go 3 tight ends then, right? Because it's usually the rule of thumb is or we could just really stack up on extra running backs and receivers. But I think it'd be worth it to almost go Sinnott. Then we can still get Jelani. If we're gonna go 2 QBs, I don't think that that's more than fine to go 3 tight ends here. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm more 3 QBs over 3 tight ends,
Okay,
but we can
let's
also.
commit to 3 QBs then. No Senate. Let's go. Vidal goes. I think we go Algier here. He stacks up with nicely. We don't have any Bijan. I think we go Algier.
We can just get Algier. That'll be
Let's
fine.
do it. Okay. I like
That'll be
this. This is fun because like we have three guys that are like literally projected starters, high touchdown upside, and like knock on wood, I don't want anything to happen to Bijan. But if anything does, Algier's not even being drafted in that like elite handcuff range. Like I would much rather I love Algier. Like he's like a Charbonnet. He should be going by Charbonnet. Charbonnet is like an elite handcuff. Zeke is
Yeah.
like the Corum's an elite handcuff. Like, why is Algier like we see? It's not even like the fact like we've seen what Algier does when like he has the backfield to himself. Like we've seen it. And he's a dog. He's like a top 12, 15 play each week at the running back position when Bijan's not there, when he's like going to be the workhorse guy. He has the workhorse role. Like,
Yeah.
and the two, like, there's no other like last year, Cordero was there to steal a little bit of the carries, But like this year, they drafted Jace McClellan out of Bama, but like he's nothing to be like worried about. Like Algier's way better than him. It's like there's really no depth at the running back position this year for Atlanta. So I like Algier, I think, even more than I did last year.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, the Rams kind of had like a second running back coming in every once in a while. I mean, Bijan is going to be like 75% opportunity share, but I'm sure Algier's still going to get some work. And it's not like we need him to get a lot. Like he's just kind of there with our running back room. So it should be fine. I think that's a cool way to end it. One other running back I've been taking a stab on late is Dylan Laub, just because I do think he's probably going to get all the pass catching work in Vegas. Zamir White, maybe a couple screens or something, but like Laub is a true receiving back. So I think that's a good kind of late dart throw, I guess.
Yeah. Like it. Love it.
Cool. Justin Fields keeps going. We talked about him a couple days ago.
Is he the first quarterback ever to be drafted ahead of the guy that's already been named the starter?
Yes, probably. Has to be.
Can you name anyone else? I can't even name any. I don't even think I could think of anybody else. Like maybe Trey Lance. That was a little murky there, though. Like,
no one was naming Purdy the starter for some reason. I mean, like there were people like me and Billy out there saying it was Purdy, but no one was like the 49ers weren't saying it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I want to talk about this tight end tier real quick. Yes. Musgrave scares me. Again, I don't know if people care about these late tight ends, but Musgrave scares me because I think Tucker Kraft could be a lot more involved than people realize.
Yeah, I agree.
He came in from a smaller school and he was pretty much like he was doing a lot of the same stuff Musgrave was doing, especially when Musgrave got hurt toward the end there. I think Musgrave, there was even a game where like he just like was playing terrible, like penalties and just playing bad, and they just subbed the Kraft in for him. Like I think at this cost, like I would much rather just get Kraft like in the 18th round than get Musgrave in the 14th. Also, too, Cade Otton, that dude has he's never been like I don't know. I just can never draft Cade Otton, which is why I drafted him yesterday on my all fade team. But this guy in his he's been in the league for 3 seasons. Look at his logs. Let's take a look at this. He's just like he's done nothing special. Like I'm just scared for that dude. Like I just don't think he's good at football. Like, am I crazy to just think that? Because I don't know. He hit 47 catches last year, 455 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Like, sick. Like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, he's not doing anything. If he doesn't catch a touchdown, he's literally not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's done nothing but produce. I think Tyler Conklin is another interesting one. He did pretty well last season, and we already have Garrett Wilson. So, get one more jet maybe.
Okay. Quarterbacks, we could go Levis here because we have Hopkins.
We do have Hopkins, and they're going to be passing the ball a ton.
I'm not against Levis. He's just one of those guys too. He has that rushing upside a little bit too with him. Let's go Levis here.
Get some Levis, and then what do you think about maybe Javon Baker when it comes back?
Oh yes, Javon. Yes, love Javon Baker. Hopefully, maybe we should have gone Baker there. Noah Fant too. I love Noah Fant.
You really?
I love
that. What are you seeing in Noah Fant? Because he hasn't gotten usage at all.
I know. So and this is the thing too. Like I think your first people's in their okay. Let's see what this pick is. And then let's go Baker here. If Fant falls to us, he falls to us. But my Noah Fant rant. So I've done it before in my stream, but I've never been a Noah Fant guy. So don't accuse me of take lock. Like I've never really been in a Noah Fant. But you look at just the things that have happened this offseason for him, right? They get rid of Pete Carroll. They get rid of terrible Shane Waldron. They're like the Seahawks had this affinity with just being in 12 personnel last year. They absolutely loved it. They loved Colby Parkinson. They loved Will Dissly. Those guys aren't on the team anymore. It's just Noah Fant.
This is true.
They re-signed Noah Fant. Jason, do you know how much money they gave Noah Fant this
No,
offseason?
I don't. Please enlighten the audience.
If you had to guess, how much a year do you think they gave him? Because it's
$8 million.
$10.5 million a year is what they gave Noah Fant. Like they brought him like $10.5 million's not like that's not like backup tight end money. That doesn't scream like we're like Kyle Pitts on the his 5th-year rookie option is going to make $10.5 million this year.
Yep,
like
10.8.
that is good money for Noah Fant. The 2-year deal, $10.5 million a year, and they bring in the new OC. It's Ryan Grubb. He was the OC at Washington last year, and if there's one thing that we know about Washington, they threw the ball. And not only did they throw the ball, but they threw the ball efficiently. They put on a passing clinic, a masterclass of how you should attack people through the air at Washington last year. And they're going to be in 11 this year. They're not going to be in this 12 BS. It's not going to be as run heavy. I still like Kenneth Walker. I think it's going to be a lot more balanced than it was kind of in years past. Like I'm truly excited about what Ryan Grubb's going to do for this offense. Like it's going to be Lockett, JSN, Metcalf, Fant all catching passes. Like Fant still has like the last part of it, just the cherry on top. Like he still has that first round draft capital talent. If you actually look on, if you go to Kyle Pitts' player page on Player Profiler, his best comparable athlete is Noah Fant. Just putting that out there too. And they're not the same athlete, but it's just kind of fun thing to look at. So that's why, and like he's free. If he's a 9th round selection, I'd be out. This guy is free. You could get him in the 16th, 17th, 18th round, like as your tight end too, who like he's going to be on the field all the time. Like I'm taking Noah Fant over Musgrave. I'm taking him over Sinnott, Otten, Henry, Jawan Johnson. Likely's the only one I have to pause about because we've seen Likely be a dog when Andrew just hurt. You still have to get an injury for Likely to go out. I'm taking over Conklin. Like if I'm just looking at the tight end rankings, let me pull it up on my screen here. I think if the only player I would take him over. So I would have Noah Fant as my personal tight end. I'd probably slot him in right after Freiermuth. So my tight end 17. And currently he's being drafted as the tight end 25. And I think you can even make an argument that I could put him higher than that. I just love Noah Fant.
I think you've sold me. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I am blown away that he's only 26 years old despite playing in the league 7 years. And in all those 7 years, he hasn't had less than 400 yards. So, I mean, that's really not bad. And we've seen these kinds of tight ends, the athletic ones, just take forever for the situation and the talent to line up. David Njoku, Evan Ingram, like the list goes on and on. Noah Fant could just be another one of those guys. You laid out how the offense is changing, how the other 2 tight ends are gone. I mean, he just gets picked here by Homie Juice, but still, like I think a good dynasty play too. I like it. I think you've officially sold me on Noah Fant, and for anyone that owns Noah Fant in my leagues, I'm coming after him.
I'm gonna have to see who has him in Trade God so I can get him before you do.
Yeah, you might have to because I have no tight ends in Trade Gods outside of Kyle Pitts, so I kind of need a backup tight end.
If we're talking about Trade Gods for 2 seconds, I tried to trade for I think 4 third-round picks in a row before Ray Davis went off the board, and I could not get a single trade to go through it. It's not like I was offering BS. Like I think I offered like a third next year and like Romeo Dubs just to get a third. So I was like pretty much.
And that didn't go through.
And giving you, I DM'd multiple people to try and get Ray Davis, and I DM'd Maddie, and he made the pick before he even saw my message. So, but he said we may be able to negotiate a Ray Davis trade after the fact anyways, but still.
Yeah, there's no way you can't get Ray Davis for Romeo Dubs. Like you shouldn't have even like.
Yeah, I had no problem trading up when I got Leggett. I had no problem trading up when I got Corley, when I got Mitchell, but just trying to get Ray Davis in the third.
I think it's just because we're at Player Profiler and we have to hate Romeo Dubs, but he's fine.
Exactly. Like I don't want him on my team, but like, you know what I mean?
I'll take him. Hey, I'll take him. We'll discuss this after the show.
Right. Sounds good. You can have him, man. I don't want him.
Sounds like some free whatchamacallit, Romeo Dubs. I'll take it. I'll take some Dubs.
Are we going hyper fragile running back here? We're gonna do
I think so.
Let's do it, man.
I mean, what are we gonna do? Isaac Orendo? I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Chig would have been cool if he fell. Chig could have been interesting with Levis, but I'm happy with Jelani. Let's see. So this guy already has 2 tight ends. We're gonna go Flournoy before him, just in case. I can't
Yeah, it's I don't even see Jelani Woods ever get drafted, so we should be fine here.
Yeah, I've been getting him at the end.
Should
I've
be
been
fine.
because to the audience, I actually had someone snipe me on Ryan Flournoy yesterday in a Chihuahua draft. My exposure has gone from 100 to now 92%. It was heartbreaking, and since then I have been taking him in the 17th round every time instead of waiting for the 18th round. I've got to get that exposure back up.
I'm gonna watch his highlights after this stream.
Have you, dude? It's a treat. It's a treat. I'm telling you, it's a treat. It really is. So
I'm excited then. I'm excited.
Like his screen against Nicholls State, he breaks like 7 tackles. Like looks like a man playing against Pee Wee kids out there. It is just like
he's a man playing against Nicholls State.
True. Well, to be fair, he's on a Nicholls State equivalent at Southeast Missouri State.
Yeah, exactly.
I like how this guy ended it with the Devontae Walker. I think he's a great dart throw at the end of drafts. Very great one. I mean, the speedy guy on the Baltimore Ravens has always produced.
Dude, I like DeMario in the 17th, man. Like, well, who's to say DeMario just not even the leading receiver?
No, but here's the thing. Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, Hunter Henry, KJ Osborne, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Here's the thing, though.
Kendrick Bourne.
Here's the thing. Think about when was Drake made? This is the comparison I made. When was Drake made the best version of himself at UNC? When he had an athletic slot receiver in Josh Downs. And I'm not saying DeMario Douglas is Josh Downs, but he's pretty similar to Josh Downs. I saw he just has experience with like athletic pop guys in the slot, guys who can really pop like Douglas. So I like DeMario. Like I don't know, he was good last year on a terrible team. Like he had some decent games.
No, I agree, but lots of injuries fell his way. He was like the only guy, and they've added a ton to the receiving room, and it's a new quarterback, technically a new regime. I think I don't know if I'm comfortable enough on Pop Douglas.
I don't know, man. Let me see here. We got a couple of these games: 5 catches, 74 yards; 6 catches, 49 yards; 6 catches, 84 yards. Did he have 0? Oh, he had 0 touchdowns last year though, which is not great. I didn't see that.
Like
offense was also bad though. It was bad. I think no matter, even if it's Brissett, this offense could be better than what it was last year. Like he has some games in there where like he had more targets I think last season than freaking Christian Watson. I'll tell you that right now. Like Christian Watson.
Well, hey, no Christian Watson slander on Wake and Take. That's Christian rule Watson, number 7.
Do you want a fun Christian Watson fact that we learned last night? Christian Watson in I think I forgot. It's in 2 seasons. I forget how many games it was. It might have been like 17 games that he's played. In 2 seasons, Christian Watson has 4 games, in 2 seasons with 5 or more catches. And that was like, again, that was like 17, 18, 19 career games. Looking at DeMario Douglas here.
How many points did he score in those 4 games?
DeMario Douglas had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He had 5 games this season with 5 or more catches. Just putting that out there. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, whatever. So the draft is completed, and since we're here, it hasn't actually updated, but there you go. Here's my exposure, guys. In case you were wondering, I've got 90% Flournoy, 70% JMO, 60% Wright, 50% Baker, Pitts, Devontae Walker, Jelani Woods, Troy Franklin, 40% Cup.
Oh, that's fun. That's a new thing Underdog just did there. The 9 shares, that thing on the top right, that never used to be there before.
Oh, yeah. I've got 9 shares of Ryan Flournoy, 7 shares of JMO. Pretty fun stuff. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's
really fun. Now you can actually see the shares, because before you kind of had to do you had to know which entry fee you were doing. So it's like if you're only doing BBM, like obviously if you had $75 of entry fees, you drafted on 3 teams. But now it actually shows you the amount of shares across all the platforms. I love that. That's awesome.
Very cool.
Underdog just innovating, man. It's just great platform.
Until Fast Draft. Tyler, thank you so much for joining. That was a very, 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 very fun draft. When I win the 1.5 million, a check for $500,000 will be hitting the mail after taxes. Maybe 400 or 300,000. I don't know what the percentage is, but some money will go your way. We ended with some true studs. I probably should have kept the team up, but I didn't. Doesn't matter. Y'all saw it. It was awesome. Tyler, tell the audience once more where they can find you.
At PPR Tyler on Twitter, at PPR Tyler on YouTube. Like, again, it's gonna be the stream of the year for me, at least my channel. Like the best stream we've had to date. Me versus 18 wings, best ball mania draft. So 18 rounds, 18 wings, 10 different flavors, 10 different levels of hotness. And then we're already at like 509 subscribers too. So at 600 subs, we're doing a 24-hour live stream. So make sure you stick around for that too. That's going to be an awesome, like another, again, if we can hit 600 before September 1st, that's my deadline on it. That's going to be an awesome stream too. We're going to have guests on different like theme drafts. Like I'm sure Jason will be a guest of one of those drafts. Like again, we have to kind of do like, if we're drafting the entire time, it's going to be probably around like 30 drafts. So we're going to have to have something planned. My goal is to have something planned for all 30 drafts. But come hang out with us tonight, 7 p.m. Central. That's when the wing stream goes live. It's going to be I don't even know what to expect. It's going to be a blast though.
Yeah, and for those of you on Real People time zones, that is 8 p.m. Eastern to go listen to that Hot One stream. It's going to be awesome. He's got tons of wings lined up, tons of great picks lined up, I'm sure. You'll have some 17th or 18th round Ryan Flournoy after watching today's highlights. I can't wait to get your text. You better text me in 10 minutes.
I will.
But this was a ton of fun. We'll have you on again this summer as we continue to best ball summer, right? We'll definitely have some more drafts coming on. You are, you're who I go to for my best ball drafts. It's fun to do it with you, man. So again, thanks for joining me. Audience, thank you a ton for tuning in. We have a special guest tomorrow as well. Josh Larkey will be joining. So we'll be discussing some fun stuff as well. Not doing a draft, but I'm sure we'll talk some best ball and all that other cool stuff. So guys, thanks again for tuning in. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to the Wake and Take podcast, link in the description. Have a terrific Thursday, wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Can't do it. No!
From the Podfather to you, I deeply appreciate you tuning in. And many ask, what can I do? What can I do to help support the hosts, the research they do, the production costs? Go to PlayerProfiler.com, Dynasty Deluxe, World Famous Draft Kit, Rankings, DFS Dominator, and of course, data analysis. Subscribe to any one of those, and you support all of us and take Player Profiler to the moon.